In this video, I'll explain how to work with array lists. Okay, so I've got a main method here in my shopping cart class, and let's go ahead and inside the main method start an array list. So it's array capital A capital L list. And then in angled brackets, the type of array list in this case is going to be strings. And then the name of the array list object that we want to create, in this case I'll call this items. And then equals new, and you have to type this again, array list, and then opening and closing angled brackets, and then opening and closing parentheses. Now, before I go any further, note how array list has been underlined, and in the numbering column on the left-hand side, we have a little light bulb with a red button on it. Now, if I hover over this, it tells us that it can't find the symbol class array list, and if I click it, NetBeans is going to tell us that we need to add that import line for java.util.ArrayList. And I'll go ahead and click that, and there it's been added. So that's a nice feature of NetBeans where you don't have to type that in manually. NetBeans will discover or determine that ArrayList, the import line is needed, and notify you of that. Now, once the array list has been instantiated, I'll go ahead and create some objects. Items.add, and in parentheses, remember it's a string, so let's start with shirt. And a belt. And we'll add another item, items.add, and we'll add a tie. Now, once I've done that, I'll go ahead and add a line here, and let's see what we've got so far. So systemout.println, and then just in parentheses, items. I'll go ahead and run the application. And there you go. So you see that items now contains those three items, the object that we created, the ArrayList object. But what if I wanted to add another object to it? Well, it's really simple. Items.add. And then in parentheses, let's put shoes. And I'm going to go ahead and copy this just to speed things up a bit here. Copy. And right click and paste that. And run it again. And now what we'll see is the before and after result. The shirt, belt, tie that we added, then we printed it, and then we added shoes. But here's the neat thing about array lists. What if we wanted to put this at a different index location? Because by using add, we can add it right to the very end if we don't put anything in there, or we can put it an index location, for instance 2, followed by a comma. And I'll go ahead and run it. And notice how shoes has been added before tie. So 2 being the third index location. Remember, it starts at 0. So 0, 1, 2. So what's happened here is shoes has been added before the third index location, which is 2. Now I'll go ahead and add some lines here. So let's go ahead and see if we can find a particular element inside the list array. So we can use the if statement, and if items, and we use .contains. Now what we can do is, in parentheses, put something like shirt, and put in a brace there. And right now I'm just going to go system.out.println. Shirt was found. And I'm going to put an else statement in there. And say system.out.println shirt wasn't found. Now, of course, make sure we fix that little syntax error there. That's great. Put in our semicolon. Okay, when we run it again, obviously the shirt is in there. We know that because we've run it a couple of times. I'll go ahead and just run this just to prove it. Shirt was found. But what we can do here, I'll go ahead and do this. If items contains shirt, items remove. So we can use items.remove to remove that item. Shirt. So we use items.remove shirt to actually take it out. And I'm going to just replace this right click and paste with that print line, and we'll get rid of that else altogether. So all we want to do here is look for the shirt, and if it finds the shirt, to take it out and then display the array list again. So now when we run it, there you go. So we've actually added an item, and then we've gone in, searched for an item, and removed it. So that's a basic understanding of the array list. It's a very powerful feature that you can use to populate arrays with lists of items and easily manipulate them using those few simple commands.